I, 25 years old, have been close friends with Jane, 25 years old, since elementary school, and our bond is like that of sisters. Jane is getting married in 2024. Myself and another friend, Emily, were both given the honor of being Jane's co-maids of honor. We all hail from the South, where wedding culture is a big deal. I've never subscribed to the larger-than-life Southern wedding culture, but I eagerly embraced the role of co-MOA for Jane. I was thrilled to support her and do whatever was necessary to make her dream come to life. Jane and Emily's friendship has had its ups and downs. Jane would say that if she met Emily today, they probably would not be close friends. Emily and I were asked to be Jane's co-MOAs 2 years ago. Jane wanted a long engagement to wedding plan, and friendship dynamics have changed since then. Anyways, Emily recently got engaged, and it has brought Emily and Jane closer with wedding talk. This made me happy, as it felt like finally not all of Jane and my conversations had to revolve around wedding jabber. I was wrong. Emily's engagement has magically made all of the co-MOA duties fall to me since she is so busy planning her wedding too, apparently. Earlier this week, Jane said she had to cut down her guest list because of venue restrictions. She was actually happy to cut out all of those great aunts, cousins of cousins, and other family members that Grandma insisted on being there. If you know, you know. I told Jane I would help with cutting down her guest list and would help with any seating arrangements. However, when I saw the list of potential guests to cut, I saw my partner's name. I didn't think much of it, of course. My boyfriend of 5 years would be attending with me, right? I have been Jane's go-to with all things wedding planning. I've planned all her engagement parties, wedding showers, and her bachelorette weekend. I've devoted hours over the last 2 years to committing to helping her plan her perfect day. I have taken days off work and spent thousands of dollars on wedding festivities for her. Nonetheless, it was true. Jane told me that she was not allowing anyone in her wedding party to have a +1 except those who are in serious committed relationships. When asked for further clarification on this, Jane stated that it was for engaged couples only. Now, this made me upset. I have been with my partner for 5 years. We live together, and Jane has known him since we were kids. Emily is recently engaged, less than a year of dating, and was told it was okay for her to bring her fiancé because it met Jane's criteria. Emily's fiancé is a real a-hole. He's an a-hole who always ruins whatever he attends by getting obnoxiously drunk. I told Jane that this decision upset me, and it didn't seem fair. We had a fight over all this nonsense, and now we are not speaking. I've felt awful about it all. Of course, I want to be there for her on her special day, but it does not seem fair to me to get to watch everyone else enjoying their evening together and me there all alone. I also must note that other bridesmaids were shocked by this, and no one in the wedding party was affected. But me, most bridesmaids date groomsmen, so they are already going to have their partner there, or they were engaged and labeled serious enough to be in attendance. Emily has put 0 effort into being her co-MOA, and it feels like I'm being singled out for some reason. Jane's family is like my family, and will ask why my partner is not with me. I guess I'll have to respond that it's because we aren't serious enough. I informed Jane that I didn't feel comfortable attending if I didn't get to bring my partner, and she accused me of being an entitled brat and emphasized that this wedding was not about me. I get that, and now I do feel that way. Am I the jerk? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You and your partner go do something fun when the wedding is taking place and post pictures on social media. Bonus, if you're wearing your MOH dress, I saw a similar post where the former bridesmaid did that. Comment 2. This was an entirely reasonable response by you to the insult she's offered to you by disrespecting your relationship. You shouldn't be a part of the wedding of someone who treats you like this. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Also send her an itemized invoice of all the hours you worked for her and things you bought. If she doesn't value your friendship, she can at least pay you for your time. Now, for the update. After the argument with Jane about the +1 situation, I took some time to cool off. But just when I thought things couldn't get more complicated, the universe threw a curveball. So Emily, the other co-maid of honor, apparently had a secret she'd been keeping from all of us. It turns out she's been having an affair with Jane's fiancé. I know, right? Total soap opera material. It blew up when one of Jane's cousins spotted Emily and the fiancé at a cozy little cafe, looking a bit too close for comfort. The cousin snapped a photo, shared it with a family group chat, and that's when all hell broke loose. Jane was devastated. She confronted them, and both Emily and the fiancé confessed. The wedding is now off, and Jane is in pieces. As for me, I've been doing my best to support her through this nightmare. We've had long talks, and she's apologized for how she treated me regarding the whole +1 issue. She admitted that she got caught up in the wedding planning and didn't consider my feelings. In the aftermath, Jane has leaned on me more, and we've rekindled our closeness from before all the wedding chaos. It's a silver lining in an otherwise heartbreaking situation. Emily has been ostracized from our group of friends, and last I heard, she and the now ex-fiancé aren't even together. Karma, right? Jane has decided to take a break from all the relationship drama and is planning a solo trip to find some peace. She's also talking about a smaller, more intimate ceremony sometime in the future, with a rule that everyone gets a +1, no questions asked. So, that's the update. Never expected I'd be in the middle of something that feels like it's straight out of a telenovela, but here we are. It's been a roller coaster, but I'm hopeful that Jane and I will come out of this stronger, and with a friendship that's more solid than ever. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You've been a pillar of support for Jane during a life-shattering revelation. It's not easy to stand by someone through such a betrayal, and it's even harder to navigate the aftermath. Ostracizing Emily might seem harsh, but her actions had devastating consequences. It's important to protect your friend and help her heal. Your loyalty is commendable, and a smaller, intimate ceremony sounds like a beautiful way for Jane to move forward. Comment 2. You're the idiot. While Emily's actions are indefensible, completely cutting her off might be too harsh. People make mistakes, and losing her entire friend group and the relationship might be punishment enough. Plus, this could have been an opportunity for the group to address underlying issues. It's possible to support Jane without completely ostracizing Emily. Compassion could have made this situation less bitter for everyone involved. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Honestly, Emily made her bed when she decided to have an affair with Jane's fiancé. You're doing the right thing by standing by your friend when she needs you the most. Besides, a friend who can betray another in such a profound way might not be a loss after all. Jane's plans for a solo trip and a future intimate ceremony show strength and resilience, and she's lucky to have you by her side. Now, for the next story. So Christmas is coming, and my workplace is brimming with lights and ideas of who should hold the Christmas party this year. Since it is a small company, one small house would be enough. I happen to have a pool in my backyard and just invested in a BBQ. They all asked me if I could hold the party this year, and I said yes with 2 conditions. First, this will be an adult-only party, and second, we will have a BBQ with prawns and other normal BBQ stuff. Meats are always welcome. Everyone agreed, and some just asked if I could cook the prawns separately since they are allergic. No problem. I am more than happy to assist with that to make sure no one would go to the hospital. One coworker just came back from maternity leave last week after 6 months, and she was very adamant about coming to the party. She sent an email to all of us asking if she could bring her 3 children with her to the party. Someone replied with the old email stating my conditions to host. She was not happy, to say the least. In the last few days, she has been talking to others, including the boss, and persuading them to talk to me. And they did. My boss asked me to be flexible and said that because she just came back, we should not cut her out like that. She was there while we talked and asked me to baby-proof the house because her oldest child has some type of illness that makes him unable to sit still. Also, She is allergic to cats, so I should wipe the whole house off cat hair and lock them outside until the party is done. According to her, if each of us pays some attention to the children, there would be no problem. The youngest will stay by her side. I straight up said no. I will not baby-proof the house, and I would never lock my cats outside for any reason. I told her and the boss that she should not join the party since there would be alcohols and hot BBQ. Also, the pool would be dangerous to children without supervision. I made it clear that I agreed to hold the party because everyone agreed to my terms. If anyone is unhappy with that, they are more than welcome to hold the party at their place. I will not complain. She stormed out of the boss's office with tears in her eyes. Some people told me to keep the office peaceful by just going along with her demands, only for a few hours. I refused. I really don't care if anyone decides to not show up that day. If there are fewer people, then more alcohol for me. No biggie. Now my boss decided to reevaluate the situation and sent an email asking if anyone else volunteered to hold the party. I was not included in that email. I found out through a work friend. I did not say anything and ignored it. People have been replying by email to each other without me and no solution. Yesterday, she came in with her baby and tried to show me. I don't like any type of kid, so I asked her to leave my table and continue to work. She took offense and left for the whole day. Her workload fell back on us since we all thought she would come back. But as of right now, she comes and goes as she pleases because there would always be something with the babies. People are telling me to stop being an AH and just give her what she wants because being a mother of 3 is no small job and she deserves a break too. To be honest, I almost laugh out loud hearing that. Still, people insisted that I was the AH in this situation. So am I the idiot? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Is it just me, or is asking one of your staff members to host a party kind of odd? In my experience, office parties usually happen at the office, at a restaurant venue paid for by the company, or the boss hosts. Comment 2. Not the idiot 3 kids at an adult party with a pool is a liability. If she can't find a sitter, she has to pass. Relocating cats from their environment is more problematic than finding childcare. Comment 3. Nope. Not the idiot. Sorry, but it's clear that my home is not suitable for the staff's needs, so I will be happy to step back and let someone else host. Your boss is an idiot, BTW. Now for the update. After the tension around the holidays, I took some time to reflect on everything and realized that, despite sticking to the original plan, the fallout wasn't worth the strain it put on my relationships at work. So, I made the first move to patch things up. I reached out to my coworker, and we had a long heart-to-heart over coffee. I explained why I wanted an adults-only party, and she shared how isolated she'd felt since coming back from maternity leave, especially around the holiday season. I won't lie. It was an emotional conversation with a few tears shed. Yeah, even I got misty-eyed. But it cleared the air. We both apologized, me for not being more empathetic to her situation, and she for putting me on the spot with the party. And here's the best part. We decided to organize a separate event for all the parents and their kids. It wasn't anything fancy, just a casual get-together at a local community center. With some help from our other colleagues, we managed to put together a kid-friendly afternoon with games and snacks. And you know what? It was a blast. The kids were adorable, and seeing my coworker light up while showing off her little ones, it made me understand her perspective a whole lot more. At the office, things have improved a lot. The tension has dissipated, and I've been included in the planning for our next event, with clear communication about the guest list this time. Haha. It was a learning curve, but I'm glad to say that forgiveness and understanding won out in the end. Sometimes it takes a bit of compromise and seeing things from someone else's shoes to make a positive change. Thanks again to everyone who chimed in with support and advice. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. YTA for needing to be cornered at a Christmas party to realize that your actions were affecting work dynamics. It shouldn't take an intervention for you to see that you were lacking empathy. That said, props for stepping up and fixing things. Just maybe try to be more self-aware next time, okay? Comment 2. NTA. You owned up to your mistakes and went out of your way to mend fences. It's admirable that you didn't just apologize but took action to create a family-friendly event. That's the kind of initiative that makes workplaces better for everyone. Plus, learning from the experience, cherry on top. Comment 3. NTA at all. It's easy to get defensive when called out, but you listened and improved the situation. Organizing a separate event shows real leadership and consideration for your coworkers' diverse needs. Turning a tense situation into a positive change is impressive. Keep it up. Now, for the next story. When my husband and I got married, we got an extensive prenup, and we agreed that we would each be responsible for providing for our children. He came from a marriage where his ex-wife milked him for cash, and I also like the idea of separate finances. We each pay our own bills. Groceries and the mortgage, we split 40-60, him 60%, me 40%, based on the fact that he has 2 children and I have 1. I understand that to some people, it might seem a bit roommate-ish, but I've loved it, and I think it works out great. I don't care about the money he wastes golfing because it's his money, not mine, and I can get expensive sushi all the time. Growing up, my parents would always yell at each other about finances, nitpicking each other's spending. When my husband and I got married, I was in grad school and he worked in finance. He lost his well-paying job and now makes 50% less, whereas my career has flourished in recent years. My son turns 15 soon, and he's been asking for a Model 3. I plan on getting it for him because I think he deserves it. My husband recently came to me upset because my son was talking about how excited he is to get a car. That upset his step-siblings, who haven't and won't be getting cars. My husband said he wants to change how our household bills are split. He wants me to pay 80% and him 20%. His reasoning is that with his pay cut and his ex-wife still taking a large chunk in child support, he isn't able to golf or live the same lifestyle as before. He also wants me to buy each of my stepchildren a car this Christmas. I basically told him he's out of his mind, and he complains that his ex-wife used him for cash and made him pay all the bills. But that's what he's trying to do to me. He didn't really know how to respond to that, but isn't talking to me now. I find it kind of funny that, when I made significantly less money, he had no issue with our financial split, but now that he's the one making less, it's an issue. Am I the idiot for not wanting to buy my stepkids cars and fund the family? He wants me to top off their college funds too. Edit. I am a positive role model in my stepchildren's lives. We're pretty close. I go to their sporting events, plan their birthday parties, etc. But they have 2 living parents who are more than capable of fully supporting them if they tried hard enough, so I just don't feel like it's my place. The kids all know that my husband is responsible for my stepkids' cars and college, and I'm responsible for my son's. They're just disappointed with their dad right now because their friends all have dads who have bought them nice cars, which has made my husband kind of mad. I don't think having cars and college funds are a necessity though, more of a nice-to-have thing if your parents can afford it. So I feel like my husband should either step up to the plate and get a better job or get off my back. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You're just following the OG agreement. He is the one coming up with changes that will benefit him. When you were broke, did he not think that one day it could be him? Just be prepared for relationship changes if he continues this way. Comment 2. 8. He complains that his ex-wife used him for cash and made him pay all the bills, but that's what he's trying to do to me. Love this. You are not the idiot. Comment 3. All marriage problems aside, your soon-to-be 15-year-old is already asking for a Model 3 and he's getting one? That's mighty bold ask. Yikes. Now, for the update. it's been one of the hardest months I've ever endured. Things escalated quickly after my husband and I had our fallout over finances. He started to withdraw more, spending hours locked away in the den. I could feel the gap between us growing daily, as if he was building a wall to shut me out completely. The tension was palpable. The kids picked up on it, and the house felt like a silent battleground. I tried to initiate conversations to bridge the gap, but he'd shrug me off. It was as if he was there, but not really. Then, 2 weeks in, I came home to find his wedding ring on the kitchen counter. No note, no explanation, just the cold metal sitting there. I felt numb. That night, he slept on the couch, and that's where he's been sleeping ever since. I hoped we could work through this, but then I discovered he's been seeing someone. A mutual friend let it slip, not realizing I was in the dark. It's a woman he met at a job networking event, someone who apparently sympathizes with his situation. That cut deeper than any financial argument ever could. The house is now on the market. We agreed, amidst tears and silence, that we couldn't go on like this. The kids are confused and hurting, asking questions we don't have the answers to. I'm trying to keep it together for them, but at night, when the house is quiet and the reality of my crumbling marriage echoes through the empty rooms, the weight of it all feels suffocating. My stepchildren are moving out with their dad. I've watched them pack up their lives into boxes, the remnants of a family that once was. It's haunting to see the spaces they filled in our home, in our lives, grow vacant. And in all this, I can't help but feel a pang of guilt, wondering if my stubbornness on the financial front sparked this spiral. But deep down, I know it's more complex than that. The job hunt is still on for him, and I've taken on extra hours at work to distract myself. I've learned that love and marriage can be fragile, susceptible to pressures from all sides. We're in the eye of the storm now, and I'm bracing for what comes next, though part of me is already mourning the loss of what we had. It's a heartbreaking realization that sometimes, no matter how much you want things to stay the same, life has other plans. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Finances can be tough, but they don't excuse infidelity. It's not on you that he chose to step out of the marriage instead of facing the problems together. You're both responsible for communication, but he's the one who broke the trust. Don't beat yourself up over the financial fight. The real issue seems to be his commitment. Comment 2. You're the idiot for not recognizing how your financial argument could have been the last straw. Relationships are about teamwork, and if you weren't willing to work together on the finances, it can create a rift that leads to bigger issues. It's not just about the money, it's about feeling supported. His leaving the ring was a clear sign of feeling alone in the marriage. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your husband's decision to leave and see someone else is on him, not a result of a single argument. It's clear the issues were deeper than just financial disagreements. You're both responsible for your children's well-being, but you shouldn't carry the guilt for his actions. It's important to focus on healing and providing stability for your kids during this tough time. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.